In this video, we are talking about 3 tips to help you fight more fair. Hi, I'm Amber Dawson. I'm a psychologist and couples therapist. I'm a founder of Ember Relationship Psychology. My goal is to help couples with their communication so they can feel loved and heard. So let's dive into our first tip. This is a tip that a lot of people don't like. They're reluctant to use, but it is taking breaks during conflict. Why? Well, maybe you've ever been in a conflict where you've said hurtful things you don't mean. You feel so overwhelmed that you can't think straight. You're just shutting down. This is a cue that probably your nervous system is overwhelmed and we need to calm and regulate our nervous system so we can fight more fair. You know, at our heart, I wish we had better regulation, but a lot of us, when we're sitting at rest, when we're talking with our partners, our heart rate accelerates to over 100 beats per minute, and we go into a state of what's called diffuse physiological arousal. And when we're in that state, we don't fight fair. So there's an optimal heart rate to fight with your spouse, and that is when your heart is less than 100 beats per minute in most cases. So it's time to grab a pulse oximeter, pop it on your finger, check your smartwatch, or even take your pulse to make sure that when you're fighting with your spouse, you're fighting in such a way where your heart rate is less than 100 beats per minute. So take breaks if you need to calm and soothe your nervous system. The key is to come back from your breaks when you're more regulated and can talk without fighting. The second tip is to talk about what you want rather than what you don't want. When we're hurt or when we're upset, it's so easy to lay blame and to talk about what our partner did wrong. I get it, I've been there. But what helps conflict conversations go better is when we can transform that criticism into a wish. So behind every complaint, piece of blame, a criticism, there's an unmet need. So we can articulate what the need is, that's probably going to help our partner meet our need. So for example, instead of saying, you didn't come home last night when you said you were going to, just leaving it at that, you could say, you know, I really wish that you came home at 10 o'clock when we agreed. In the future, could you please come home because it helps me to get the kids to bed and get ready for the next day. So talk about what you do want rather than what you don't want. Often this helps your partner figure out what you want out of the situation and remove some of the blame. And when people blame, we tend to be defensive. So if you want your partner to stay engaged with you and hear your complaint, one tip is to transform your criticism into a wish and ask for what you need. And the third tip is to put your conflict into perspective. So the thing is here, sometimes we win the war, we win the fight with our partner at the cost of losing the war. We forget that our partner is our friend, that we're actually on the same team. And we have to remember, even when we're hurt, mad, upset, overwhelmed, frustrated, lonely, that this is a person that we want in our lives. And so we have to remember when we're doing conflict to be neutral, kind, talk about also what they're doing right, not just what they're doing wrong, so that you can both still be ready to win the overall war, not just that battle. And winning the overall war is keeping your relationship intact so your home can be overall a place of love, belonging, peacefulness, where you're both seen and heard. So those are your 3 tips for today for fighting more fair. And if you want more tips, head over to the Ember Relationship Psychology blog for other tidbits of relationship tips, other strategies that you can use to improve your relationship today.